Hello dear viewers, I am back with another video on nouns. In the previous video, we have looked at the kinds of nouns and their definitions. Here I have included a lot of examples on each category of noun. This is sort of a practice video. I'm going to solve a couple of sentences here and you are supposed to solve the rest of them. I want you to pause the video, copy down the questions and write the answers to each of them. After doing so, kindly click the pictures and send it to Sir's WhatsApp number. You can ask me if you have any doubts as well. Without wasting further time, now let's get started. In the first section, we are supposed to fix the proper noun in the sentence. What do you understand by fixing? When do you fix a thing? You fix things when something is not in a proper state. So here there are two things you have to do. Identify the proper noun, and if there is any error in it, you have to rectify it. Let us look at the first sentence. The state of Arizona is very hot. Can you tell me what is a proper noun? Arizona is a proper noun. I'm going to underline Arizona. Now what is a proper noun? A proper noun refers to specific people, places or ideas. In other words, we can say a proper noun is a specific name used to talk about specific or particular person, place or thing. A proper noun should be a word which should either refer to a particular person, a particular place or a particular thing. So here in this sentence, Arizona refers to a particular or a specific state in the US, and hence it is a proper noun. Is there any error? Yes. What is it? A proper noun should always start with a capital letter. Here the letter A is small. Hence we have to write a capital A instead of small. Arizona. Moving to the next example. The author of my favorite book is Dr. Seuss. Can you identify what is a proper noun in the sentence? Dr. Seuss is a proper noun because we are talking about a specific person, Dr. Seuss. As you can see here, they have used small d and small s, which is wrong. We have to use capital D and capital S. Dr. Seuss. Coming to the third sentence, the Tanners are our new neighbors. The proper noun here is Tanners because this is a family name, a specific family called Tanners. Like in India, we have a family name such as Sharmas, Varmas, etc. So these names are used to refer to that particular family. Similarly, Tanners is referring to the Tanners family. Hence, it is a proper noun. Now, the T is small. You have to use the capital T. I have done 3 examples for you. You are supposed to do the remaining 3 in this section. Let's go to the common noun now. We are supposed to read the sentence and circle the common noun. Let us revise what is a common noun. A common noun is used to talk about things, places or people. In general, you refer to things, places or people in general, which means you do not use a specific name. Let us look at the first sentence. I like to look at the stars through my telescope. Can you identify what is a common noun? There are 2 common nouns in this sentence. Number one is stars. When I say stars, I'm not referring to a particular group of stars. Now there are many groups of stars in the space. So it may be any group of stars, hence it is a common noun. Telescope is also a very general object or a thing. I'm not referring to a brand or a particular kind of telescope. Hence stars and telescope both are common nouns in this sentence. In the second example, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Can you identify what are the common nouns? Apple is one common noun because I'm not talking about a specific apple. All the fruit names can be common nouns. And the second common noun in this sentence is doctor. I'm not referring to a specific doctor. Look at the concrete and abstract nouns. We are supposed to underline abstract nouns and circle the concrete nouns. So before we do that, let us look at, or rather revise, what is a concrete noun and what is abstract noun. Let us first revise what is a concrete noun. A concrete noun, a noun that can either be touched, seen, heard, smelt or felt. Concrete nouns have a physical existence. We can either see them or touch them or hear them or smell them. What are abstract nouns? Abstract nouns are the nouns which do not have physical existence, which means these are the nouns which cannot be touched, seen, heard or smelled. These are ideas, concepts, feelings or events. Okay, let's look at the examples. The first sentence, he was given an award for his courage. We have to underline abstract and circle the concrete. Let us first look at the concrete. Can you identify any concrete noun here? A concrete noun has a physical existence. Award is a concrete noun because an award may be a trophy, a medal, a cash prize. It has a physical existence. You can touch it. You can see, you can feel. What is an abstract noun here? Courage is an abstract noun because courage is feeling, or you can say it's a quality. You cannot touch, you cannot see, you cannot hear or smell. Hence it is abstract noun. And it does not have a physical existence, which means we cannot see, hear, smell or taste courage. Moving on to the next sentence. The door slammed Sorry, this is not sheet, this is shut. Can you identify any abstract noun? Is there any concept, idea or feeling in this sentence? No. Do we have any concrete noun? Yes. Door is a concrete noun because it has a physical existence. You can touch, you can hear when the door shut. In the third example, she thought that happiness was the most important thing in life. We have abstract noun happiness here because happiness is a feeling. You cannot hear it, smell it or see it. Hence it's a abstract. And life is a period between birth and death. It does not have physical existence. You cannot touch, smell, hear or see. Hence, life is also an abstract noun. Moving on to the fourth one now. He dropped his phone with a crash. Can you identify abstract noun here? There is no abstract noun in the sentence. Phone is a concrete noun because it has a physical existence. In the fifth sentence, time is an abstract noun because you cannot touch, hear or see. The time does not have physical existence, hence it is an abstract noun. Nature of course has a physical existence. Moving on to the sixth one. His art teacher applauded his creativity. Teacher again is concrete noun because teacher has a physical existence. Creativity is an abstract noun here because creativity is a quality or it is not something which has a physical existence. Hence it is an abstract noun. The seventh one, she moved the chair into place. Can you identify any abstract noun? No, there is no abstract noun in the sentence. Is there a concrete noun? Yes. Chair is a concrete noun because it has a physical existence. He always made his bed before leaving for school. Is there any abstract noun in the sentence? There is no abstract noun. But there is one concrete noun, bed. You can touch it. It has a physical existence. Hence bed is concrete noun. The ninth one, She craved freedom. Now freedom is an idea, or an idea of being free is called freedom. It does not have a physical existence. Hence it is also a abstract noun. She looked at herself in the mirror. There is no abstract noun in the sentence, but there is one concrete noun, which is mirror. Because mirror is an object and it has a physical existence. I hope you have understood concrete and abstract nouns. Here there are few more examples on concrete and abstract nouns. I have underlined the words as you can see here. If the underlined word is a concrete, you have to put C next to it. If the underlined word is an abstract noun, put A next to it. I want you to solve all of the 10 sentences. Alright, let's move to the next category of noun. Countable and uncountable nouns. So here we have to choose a, and, some or any. What are these words? A, and, some, any. You'll come across many such words. A, and, some, any, little, few, a lot of. Now these all known as quantifiers. What are they called? Quantifiers. Now some of them can be used with the countable nouns. Some of them can be used with uncountable nouns. There are also some which can be used with both countable and uncountable. Oh, I forgot to include two more. Much, many. So quantifiers are basically the words which tell us the quantity or the amount of something which cannot be measured in numbers. Alright, let us look at the first sentence. It is dash a dog. Now which quantifier is suitable? You have to write down in the blank. It is a dog because dog here is a countable noun. A countable noun is something which can be counted in numbers. You can count the number of dogs. 1 dog, 3 dogs. So since it is a countable noun and it is singular, we are talking about a single dog. That is why you use a here. A and an are basically articles, but you can use whenever the noun is in singular form. And an is used before the noun which starts with a vowel and it has to be singular. Alright. In the second sentence, Linda has not got dash pets. There are 4 quantifiers here. Some, a, an, and any. You cannot write some because some can be used for both countable and uncountable nouns, but you use some only when you are requesting or offering something to someone. When you are requesting something, for example, can you please give me some advice? You're requesting someone to give you something. Can you please give me some advice? And offering, would you like to have some tea? So when to use some? It can be used in both countable and uncountable nouns. But what is the condition? It is used only when you are requesting or offering something, and it is not used in the negative sentences. Here, Linda has not got pets. This sentence is negative, so you have to never use some. Pets is a countable noun. Of course, you can count the number of pets. I have 2 pets. I have 10 pets. So, as it is plural, you cannot use a. You cannot use an also because an is used before singular noun and it should start with a vowel. So what is left? Any. You can write any whenever there is a question, whenever you are asking a question, or when the sentence is negative. It can be used for countable and uncountable nouns. The third one, we don't have dash bread. Now bread, you cannot count bread by itself, but you can always talk about the quantity of bread. I have a packet of bread. I have 2 packets of bread. So you cannot count the bread, hence bread is uncountable. So what quantifier you can use? We don't have dash bread. Can you use some here? No, you cannot use some. Because I told you, some is a quantifier which can be used for both countable and uncountable. But the condition is it has to be either a request or an offer. And the sentence should not be negative. Here it is a negative sentence. We don't have bread. Don't is used, hence it's negative. So some is not suitable. You cannot write a as a quantifier because bread is not countable. An is also not used because it is not starting with a vowel. So what is remaining? Any. So you have to write any bread. Do you have dash eggs? Now this is a question. You are inquiring something. So do you have some eggs? No, you don't use some, because as per the rule, some is used only for request and offers. So you're not requesting, you're not offering. You're asking a question. Do you have an eggs? No, you cannot use an, because an is used when the noun is singular. And a is also not used because here it is not a singular noun. Eggs are countable, but they are in plural here. So you have to use any. Fifth one, there are dash students in the classroom. Now the students are countable. You can count the number of students. 1 student, 10 students. So the sentence is positive here. There is no not, there is nothing negative in the sentence. So you use some students. I told you some can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. So there are some students. You use some when you don't know exactly how many students are there. Okay, I hope you understood the quantifier. Next one, choose how much or how many. Now much and many both are quantifiers, so you have to ask the question by using how much or how many. So which of the two is suitable in these sentences? You have to write down. Much is a quantifier which is used for uncountable nouns. The noun should be uncountable, only then you use much. And many is used for the countable nouns. The nouns which you can count in numbers, you can use many. Let us look at the examples. Dash cheese do you buy? What is the noun here in the sentence? Cheese is the noun. Can you count the cheese by itself? 1 cheese, 2 cheeses? No, you cannot count the cheese by itself. But of course, you can count packets. I have 1 packet of cheese, 2 packets of cheese. So cheese by itself is uncountable noun. So you cannot write how many cheese do you buy? It becomes very wrong. So you have to ask how much cheese do you buy? Dash books are there in your bag. Now books are countable. You can count the books and it is in plural form. So you write many. How many? How many books are there in your bag? Third one. Dash films did Tom see last week? Now films are of course plural here. And countable also. You can count the number of films. 1 film, 2 films. So you use how many. Dash sugar do we need? Sugar is uncountable noun. You cannot count the granules of sugar. You cannot say 1 sugar, 2 sugars. Now this noun does not have plural form. Okay? Hence you can write here how much, as sugar is uncountable. Dash money do you spend every week? Now money by itself it's not countable. You need a currency to count. Okay, if there is a rupee, dollar, then it is countable. But if you're using the word money, you cannot say 1 money, 2 monies, 3 monies. Hence money is uncountable. You have to use how much money do you spend every week. I hope you understood a few quantifiers. There are more quantifiers here. Here in this section, I'm going to do a couple of examples and you're going to do the remaining ones. Choose the correct answers. Here, the quantifiers are given in the brackets. You're supposed to write which quantifier is more suitable. Mary studies dash chemistry books. Can you identify what is the noun here? The noun here is books, and books are countable. So you do not use much. Much is used with uncountable nouns. A little is always used with uncountable nouns. And a little means it refers to some. You have something in some quantity. And a few is used with countable. A few means some quantity. It's neither too much or not too less. A few is used for the countable nouns and a little is used for uncountable nouns. Both have the same meaning, which is some quantity. So the quantifier a few is more suitable here. He drinks dash tea every day. Now tea is uncountable noun. You cannot count 1 tea, 2 teas. When you say 1 tea, you're actually talking about 1 cup of tea. But tea by itself is not countable. So whenever it is uncountable nouns, you have to use some. He drinks some tea every day. It is a positive sentence. It is not a question, nor is it a request or offer. But since it is uncountable noun, you're supposed to use the quantifier some, because you cannot use few, as few is suitable for the countable nouns. And many is also suitable for countable nouns, but some can be used for uncountable nouns also. You cannot use few and many for uncountable nouns. My father needs dash water because he is thirsty. A water is again uncountable noun. You cannot count water. Water by itself is not countable. So what you have to use? A little. My father needs a little water because he is thirsty. I do not have dash time to wash the dishes today. Now time by itself is not countable. You can count the time by saying minutes, seconds. Hence you have to use I do not have much time, as much can be used with both countable and uncountable. It is mostly used with the negative sentences. A few is not suitable because time is not countable. Many is also not used. They made dash mistakes in the exam. Now mistakes are countable. One mistake, two mistakes. Mistake is a countable and it is plural. So you use a lot of. A lot of can be used with countable and uncountable nouns. A lot of mistakes. I have done 5 for you. I want you to do the remaining 5 sentences. I hope you will do it. Let's go to the next section. Singular and plural nouns. Write the correct form of nouns in the blanks. He has 3 dash all living at home. So singular nouns are the nouns which are used to talk about one thing, person or place, and plural nouns are used to talk about plural things or more number of people, places. Child is given here. What you have to write? What is the plural form of child? Children. Similarly, there are 5 dash and 4 dash playing tennis right now. The plural of man is men and plural of woman is women. Baby play with toys. So babies you have to write. Observe the formation of the plural. What is happening here? Now these are irregular nouns. The vowel between the nouns is changing. Okay, and a noun is singular here, baby, and it is ending with Y. How do you make it a plural? You drop the Y and add IES. I put some dash on my boss desk. So memo, plural, is memos. This is an exception. We learned that the nouns ending with O, like potato, the plural will be potatoes. TOES will be added. But this is an exception. This rule is not applicable here. We simply add S. We don't add E here. Please don't give me any advice. See here, advice is uncountable noun. You cannot count advice. You cannot say 1 advice, 2 advices, 3 advices. It is always wrong if you say so. So you use please don't give me any advice, because this is uncountable noun and there is no plural form for this. Uncountable nouns usually do not have plurals. Okay, like technology, you cannot say technologies. You cannot say furnitures. So these are all uncountable. Furniture, technology, information, these are all uncountable nouns. You cannot write them as plurals because there is no plural form to such uncountable noun. There are certain nouns which are countable. There are certain nouns which can be countable. You can count them, but when it comes to writing, you add S. This does not mean the pants is in plural form here. The writing itself, you add S and write it. So pants is always a singular, but it's a rule in English that you have to write pants and not pant. So he bought his pants. Can I borrow the scissor again is not written as scissor. Scissors is of course countable, but it is always written as scissors. S is added. You cannot write scissor. It's just a rule, a crazy rule. Scissors. Please share some dash knowledge with me. You have to write knowledge as it is because there is no plural form for knowledge. Knowledge is uncountable noun and uncountable nouns do not have plural forms. You cannot write knowledges. Do you have any baggage with you? Baggage is again an uncountable, hence it does not have plural. Do you have any baggage? You write as it is. In the next section, we have possessive nouns. Possessive nouns are something which talk about ownership. Okay? They talk about the things, objects or people which belong to us. So possessive nouns refer to the nouns which talk about ownership. So possessive nouns are formed by adding apostrophe and s to the given noun. In the first sentence, the bat of David. So they are talking about an object here, bat, which belongs to David. So how do you make it possessive noun? By saying David's. David's bat. How is the possessive formed? An apostrophe and s. David's bat. Dad's rocking chair means a rocking chair which is owned by dad, or a rocking chair which belongs to dad. How do you write it? Dad apostrophe s. Dad's rocking chair. Here in this example, now the children itself is plural. They have given children's here, which means you have to write children apostrophe s toys. Children's toys, which means the toys belonging to children. Webster's dictionary is a name of how we have Oxford. Similarly, we have Webster. So you write Webster apostrophe s. Webster's dictionary. James' invention. So remember James here. This is the complete name. Do not keep apostrophe before s. This is wrong. With s together it makes complete name. So you have to write James and apostrophe should be after s. James' invention. The basketball of Stephen. So what will you write? Stephen's basketball. Alright, I've done 5 for you. I want you to do the remaining 5. Collective nouns now. Collective nouns are the nouns used to talk about a group of people, places or things. Basically they are used to refer to a group or a cluster of maybe animals or people or things. When I was young, I liked to watch a dash of grazing on grasses. So there are 3 collective nouns given in the bracket: herd, pride, flock. Herd also refers to a group, pride also refers to a group, and flock also refers to a group. But each animal group has a different collective noun or a different name. So a group of cattle is, there'll be cows and buffaloes, okay, that is known as cattle. So groups of cows or buffaloes together is known as cattle. There is a specific name to that group. What is it? Herd. Heard of? When he was in Africa, he saw a dash of geese. Now, geese is a plural of goose. It is a wild duck. So, a group of wild ducks is called gaggle. G-A-G-G-L-E. A dash of kittens. You don't say a bunch of kittens or a group of kittens or a herd of kittens. You say a litter of kittens. I have done 3 for you. I want you to do the rest of them. I'll explain you the last one here. A soprano, an alto, tenor and a bass all sing in a dash. See, these are all the singers in a group. A soprano is a highest female or the male voice. An alto is the second highest male or female voice. The tenor is adult voice and bass is the lowest voice in the group of singers. So all these are a group of singers and each refers to a different voice pitch. And a group of singers is called not band, not team. What is it called? Choir. Choir of singers. A band of musicians, a group of musicians is called band. And players, a team of players. Here I've given it in the form of match the following. To look at the collective nouns here and you have to match which is suitable. You have to do it on your own. Now here we are going to look at the gender nouns. Now the nouns here are underlined. You have to write the opposite gender. Now gender nouns talk about whether the noun is a masculine or a feminine. It is a classification of the nouns into masculine and feminine. So I have underlined the nouns. You have to identify whether it is masculine or feminine and write down the opposite of it. Line, leave the examples which I have explained you. Copy down the ones which I have not explained. Write down the answers. We shall discuss about pronouns in the next video. Until then, goodbye. Take care.